her from the harms of sexual abuse.
Okay,
Um, Go ahead.
all right. So can you repeat that? So
Sure.
it was neglect from their part.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what it seemed like. They basically, it was a girl, a young girl, went to their, I don't know if it was like a summer retreat or something like that
They're,
in
they're using
Florida,
Jane Doe. They're not even using the girl's name either.
probably because she's a minor.
Yeah, that makes sense for the
So
description.
somebody reported the sexual assault. The parent of the little girl reported the sexual assault based on a phone call to her, to the mom. So the little girl called the mom. The mom was like, yo, something feels off with my daughter. So she called Mariano's wife and was like, hey, can you come
Oh, dude.
check this out? Because, she's saying this, whatever the case may be. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to investigate it. So I guess Mariano and his wife and whoever else, they went to investigate, but instead of investigating, they kind of made the little girl like retract in a sense and kind of like, oh, like brush it off basically to not cause any like issues to their church.
Dude,
Wow.
but this is a long article. Like I'm looking at it now. I just read like the first two paragraphs. This is like a whole other two
Yeah.
pages to this joint. I'm like totally intrigued right now. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. So it
And this
says
is
the
back
the
in 2018.
yeah, so it says the plaintiff referred to as Jane Doe attended a summer internship in 2018 at Clara's suggestion at the Ignite Life Center in Gainesville, Florida, which is outside of Jacksonville, where alleged abuse by an older girl who was a minor at the time took place. Doe claims she was repeatedly sexually abusing the camp's dormitory and shower, with the older girl fondling and penetrating Doe's breasts, buttocks, and genitals.
Mm.
Mariano and Clara Rivera later traveled down to the Ignite Life Center in Gainesville after Jane Doe's mother expressed she was concerned at Jane Doe's safety at the summer camp, the suit states. The mother was said to have been assured that Clara would look into her concerns and respond accordingly. However, the suit claims that when the Riveras made the trip where they learned or should have learned information about the sexual abuse taking place, they each separately isolated and intimidated Jane Doe to remain silent about her abuse in order to avoid causing trouble for both church organizations. The suit states the girl returned to New York after the conclusion of the internship and continued to attend services at Refugee of Hope. Oh my God, why would you go back? A separate alleged incident of sexual abuse occurred in August 2018 at the Rivera's then residence on Brookview Lane in Rye, New York, during a barbecue for children of the Refugee of Hope Church, with no parents invited to the event. Oh, that's wild, y'all bugging. Um, the older girl who allegedly abused the victim earlier that same year was invited and once again sexually abused Jane Doe, engaging in acts that would constitute a sexual offense under Article 130 of the New York Penal Law, the suit stated. The litigation also alleges that the girl has been sexually abused by the adult son of an associate pastor at the church.
Oh
Ruben
wow.
Tavares Jr., the son of Ruben Tavares Sr., allegedly abused her in or around late 2021 and into 2022 and continued to contact her to engage in graphic electronic communications, according to a post by Horowitz Law on its website. The Riveras falsely promoted their activities and premises as being safe, moral, and otherwise free of a risk of harm when it knew or should have known otherwise, the lawsuit stated. That's crazy. Yeah, that's some Jehovah's Witness shit.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
they're Jehovah or
Nah,
they're
they
Protestant or
well, it says that they're their own thing. This Refugee of Hope church. I
it's
don't
a
even.
it's a Christian branch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google this real quick.
Yeah.
Get on my
So
investigative flow.
so she had um
That's
so she
crazy.
was basically she was sexually assaulted by
Some
an
girl.
older girl and a guy,
Yeah.
and the guy was a pastor,
Son of a pastor.
son of a pastor. Okay, man.
Iglesia Refugio de Esperanza. That's the Spanish name for it.
Just
It's a
crazy.
Christian church, yeah. I just Googled it up. I see it. It's a
Are,
nice looking church, bro.
are we recording?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, yeah. So whoever's like listening to us, we just like found out about Mariano Rivera. We were talking about the Hall of Fame inductees and stuff, but we just received word that Mariano is, our beloved Mariano Rivera, as a Yankees fan, is might be under a suit, some sort of suit in court,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate. It's a very sensitive topic. Stuff like this is very, very triggersome, especially for those of us who have daughters and like, younger sisters and like, all
Yeah.
the females in our lives that we love and respect. And, we already know how much they go through. And it sucks that she was probably trying to, I guess, seek some sort of spiritual connection. And then like, you know, what's the saying? The devil never sleeps. Like wherever you go, you're gonna find all sorts of, unfortunately, cruelty and broken people um, mixed in. But hopefully that gets settled. Hopefully the girl gets the proper justice. I can't really comment any further because it's they're gonna go
Brand
to
new.
court. They're gonna look at the evidence, and right now this is all fresh. And
Yeah.
I don't know what's real, what's not.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunate, man.
That's
That's unfortunate. I think we all grew up like in a, we all have like a religious background to us. Like we all,
yeah.
I know Roberto and I went to a lock-in one time in Massachusetts, and those things got pretty wild.
I don't know
Nice.
who came up with the idea to
What's it
lock
called?
up a lock-in, bro. A bunch of
Oh,
teenagers locked in the church with limited adult supervision.
with limited? So like
Limited because
barely
it's
any, right?
it's
Barely
like
any.
maybe five
Sounds
adults
like a good time to
with
me,
a
but go ahead.
ratio of like 30 to 50 like kids,
Gotcha.
teenagers, all
Horny
the
teenagers.
like
The horniest.
it's a setup.
Yeah, it is. That's yeah, I mean, I definitely, had some religious background, and there's always been some gray areas to it where, like, I know people in my family that have had some type of situation like this. And come to find out, like, they're usually you should go to like the authorities and stuff like that. But in the religious group, they're like, come to us, we'll talk about it. Da, 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 da. So it's like a little manipulation and it never gets to the right authorities. So it kind of the abuse
Mm,
continues type of stuff. And then like when I stepped out of that world and I did some research and then I come to find out there's like thousands and thousands of cases that are very similar. It's like, oh, so there's a pattern here. So I'm not too surprised. That's like the point I'm trying to get is like I'm not too surprised that this is happening. It just sucks that it's like one of our legends and shit. So
yeah.
I'm so conflicted right now. Like I really feel torn inside. Yeah. It sucks and it's close by too. Like it's like 15 minutes driving from here. So like I feel bad for the young girl, for the young lady that had experienced that. My only concern is like if you did have that experience, why would you go back? Unless your
Maybe she had
parents
no
force,
choice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which in some cases it'd be like that for a while until you can like move out and do your own decisions. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
unfortunate, man.
and who knows when she opened up about it? Maybe she didn't
Yeah,
speak up right away because everybody handles those situations differently.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess from what I'm hearing is, I don't know, maybe we might need a better system out there for these
yeah,
church groups and religious groups because I know that a lot of times, especially like when it's like within family, like when it's like a family member that's doing the assaulting, like they always try to tell whoever is like the chaperone, you know, like they tell them first, and it's like that's a very sensitive situation right there. It's like, how are you gonna handle that? So I think people that are gonna handle those situations have to be well trained to really know, you know, they have to be well qualified to deal with those sort of things. Yeah, I think I would prefer definitely a woman being the one in charge of those decision making and stuff like that, because who else would know, you know,
And when you say that, do you mean within the church?
within the church? Yes, yes,
Okay.
for their community, like, the church groups, communities, and stuff like that. At
But
least from their end,
yeah.
because I feel like this happens way too often.
But then from my understanding and my experiences, women hardly have any leverage or any say in a lot of these groups. Like everything is man ran type. Like it's the pastor, the sacerdote. Like there's very few women that have a voice.
Yeah, I mean, at least with I guess with running the services, that's how it
Hmm.
is typically. But I think like at least in the groups, like in these groups, these youth groups, these
It should be a woman.
youth ministry, I think there are women, and there's women in the
Mhm.
directives there that'll be able to maybe, like some sort of influence, because I just feel like, I don't know, just to bring more comfortability to whoever is in the group. I don't know. I mean, I'm just talking hypothetically, in general, because I'm noticing, like you say, Hasio, you're not really too surprised about it. Um, but at least from my experience, I've noticed that when more women are in charge of those situations, it gets handled a little bit better than when it's a man deciding to do it.
For sure.
You know, not saying men are not capable of doing it. It's
Yeah.
just, um, it's a very sensitive situation, and I
I
feel
agree.
like, you probably be more comfortable talking to someone that resembles you, has the same body parts that you do. So.
I wonder, now I wonder, what if she did? Like we don't know who she really like reached out to,
Right, we
That is
don't
true.
know. We really don't know this. I mean, unless we're
any
gonna
of the
read the whole
details.
read the whole case,
Yeah.
we're not gonna know the details of what was done, how much neglect was involved. We don't know. We don't know nothing.
And then like they all went to an adult's house. Like their house without any other adults to Mariano's house. Like all the kids. Like unsupervised. The second part where she got assaulted again. Like that's
Yeah,
very suspect.
Yeah.
yeah, and it sucks because I'm like, I don't know. I could just imagine people are like, wait, this person did that. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they might, like, everybody's always shocked at stuff like
Yeah.
that, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough to like know how to navigate towards that, but I I just wish it didn't happen as often as it did in a holy place at that too. It's like,
Yeah.
sucks. It discourages people to kind of like seek these communities. It gives them
Yeah.
a bad name. So,
That's true. How about you,
huh?
Roberto? No,
Me?
Roberto. Yeah. What do
Uh,
you think?
Uh, this is a messy situation, man. Every which way you look at it. Even just taking Mariano's name out of it, I going with what Cesar said, it happens far too often. Um, and this is dating back hundreds of years probably, where stuff like this has happened in and around religious groups. I personally, knock on wood, thank God, have not had to see a situation like that happen when I was going to church regularly and stuff like that. But to Cesar's point, I think it is good if you have women there, um, in some type of leadership role. I know the church I went to, our youth groups had men and women leading. It was never just one person. Um, because at the end of the day, as a young person, you need somebody that looks like you to kind of have a role model type of thing. And I guess that worked out in our church, having that for the most part.
Yeah.
But in terms of the situation in Mariano's church, just I feel for the little girl. I hope that, this doesn't necessarily open new wounds that maybe she thought she had closed, but at least give her the closure she needs. Like Cesar said, the justice that's deserved. And I hope that, she finds that peace and that this gets resolved quickly so that she can then move on from all the crap she had to deal with.
Yeah, I would have to agree with everything you said, Roberto, and similar to you, also in my experience, thankfully I never had to like kind of witness none of something like that occurring. And also in the church I used to go to, men and women were also in charge, and I think that helped out a lot when you had like a nice little a balance between the two. But
That's good. Yeah.
yeah, man. But on that note, fellas, we were gonna talk about
Welcome.
the welcome to
Welcome
the
to
rock.
another death episode.
It's crazy
Starting
because
off
we're
with a
like,
bang.
yeah, we were just like in the start, and it's like, yo, Mariano's lawsuit. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I hope, it's not a money grab or anything like that. I hope there's justice. And I guess we'll find out more because 2025 look like it might start off with a bang also compared to last year.
Yeah.
So we're
That
gonna
did,
talk.
that didn't take long. But I guess we could pivot to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, we're there.
MLB Hall of Fame, we from one Hall of Famer to new ones now.
New ones that all have New York ties.
Mm.
So CC Sabathia gets elected first ballot. Ichiro 1 vote shy of being unanimous. And then Billy Wagner, long overdue in my opinion, finally gets in. Former Met and the other two former Yankees. So congrats to all three of those gentlemen for excellent careers, being just great teammates all around. Everyone that has been on the team with these guys has spoken highly, especially of CC and Ichiro. I mean, we got to experience them in New York, um, and see just how great they are. And Ichiro, we got him towards the end of his career, and he still was 100% professional. The dude's craft is unbelievable. The way he gets ready for games, all that stuff. I'm sure he could get on the field right now and hit 300. The way he takes care of his body, and then CC, just we know that kind of dog that man is, the kind of things he did, not just with the Yankees, but in Milwaukee, with Cleveland, all that stuff. He gave it his all. He literally gave it his all until his arm quite literally fell off. So much respect to CC. I love that dude. One of my favorite pitchers of all time. Dude was just competitor is the best way
Yeah,
to describe him, man.
yeah, he was really good. It's funny because CC struck out Ichiro a few times,
Yep.
but
Funny too, not to interrupt you,
mhm,
but CC is a West Coast dude. He did not want
mhm,
to come to New York. He was very adamant about not wanting to play on the East Coast, not wanting to play with the Yankees, because they were on the East Coast. But then when Brian Cashman slid that check over, he was like, "All right, we in," and it was the best thing that ever happened to the franchise, man. Led to the World Series in that first year.
yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying, José?
Uh, so my main thing is there's only three people being elected into the Hall of Fame. Those three, yo, MLB, yo, or professional baseball, whoever's in charge of that is. Come on, man.
You know what it is? I have a the way I feel about the baseball writers who vote.
And
Some of
there's
them
like
you get
300 of them.
yeah, and you get 10 votes per every year. Some of them don't use all 10 votes. Some of them only vote for like 2 or 3 players. I think stuff like that shouldn't happen. I think if you don't use all 10 of your votes, you should not be eligible to vote next year. And you should get like have to go under like a review process with an arbiter and all this stuff to make sure that you're capable of coming back and voting for one of the most prestigious honors in sports history.
Yeah,
I also believe that the writers who vote should be cycled every few years. I don't think we should have the same voters or the same totality of voters every single year. There should be like a cycle where some guys are, maybe 1 year in, 1 year out kind of thing. Because I think what happens is a lot of these writers start to develop this bias towards certain players. Primarily players like obviously there's like the steroid links, but past that, like dudes didn't like Barry Bonds, reporters didn't like Manny Ramirez, so players like that because they didn't really give reporters the time of day, they didn't give them the headlines, they just kind of did their thing. So I feel like a lot of that bias continues, and also, I would like to see like fresh faces voting because maybe they have differentiating views about the steroid era and some of these guys who were linked to these things. Because at the end of the day, you look at A-Rod's numbers, Barry Bonds' number, those are top two, top three players of all time. And they're just completely getting ignored. I think A-Rod got like 37% of the vote or something like that this year on the ballot. And obviously, he's not going to get in. We know that because we saw Bonds and Clemens and these guys fall off. But I think the writer should be cycled. I think there has to be a new system entirely. And,
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah, it's something has to change. But I
Get
feel like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure. Get rid of all of those voters. Reopen like the pool, the Hall of Fame pool to like every possible player that is, a Hall of Fame caliber player. So give them another shot to get into the hall because that's some bullshit. Like how after a few years, whatever, of nobody voting, even though they can't vote, but they don't want to vote you, no one's getting in. Like that shit don't make sense, bro. Like that's kind of unacceptable. It's like a mockery of the sport at that point.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, I mean, I guess first I would like to give praise to the guys that did get in. You know, CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, Ichiro, well deserving. There are a lot of players that I saw Chipper Jones on X talking about Andrew Jones. You know,
He's a
that's another
beast.
player that he was like, "Let me ask you a question. If he played in the New York tri-state area, would he be a Hall of Famer right now?"
Yeah.
And, like there's a lot of biases that go into these voting. That's just trash. It's just whack to see. It's there's a clear biases going on because it's like, all right, David Ortiz was linked to steroids. You know, he's well deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. But like, let's be honest, he's one of the most likable players of all time, and like, of course, he's gonna like. I feel like he just got in because of likability. You know, I think people like Pete Rose, for example, he already passed. Rest in peace. Like maybe he should be like you said, Hasiel. Like maybe they should. I feel like they should always have a chance to make it until the end of time, type thing. But it's gonna suck because people are gonna wait till players are dead to get them in if we keep on with the same system. So
So there is a vote. I think I don't remember what it's called, but if you get kicked off the ballot, you can still get voted into the Hall of Fame through like a committee voting. I forget the exact name of it, but that's another way, you know, players and managers, all these other people can get in. Not saying that that will happen, but maybe in, 10, 15, 20 years, somebody's going to take over that position, look back and be like, yo, you know what? Let's start voting in Barry Bonds. Let's start getting A-Rod in there. Let's start, you know, putting all these guys in there now because it's a fresh face and a fresh outlook on everything.
yeah, and I feel like they definitely do need to recycle the voters. Maybe have them take a cognitive test. I don't know, some sort of like something like a standardized Regents test or something every year to make sure that they're like that their mind is right. But Cause it's getting ridiculous, man. I mean,
Well,
you just hear how players and former players speak about Barry Bonds, A Rod, and all these. These are generational talents.
yeah,
Like,
well,
yes, they cheated, whatever. They did what they did, but I mean, it's just there's way more to the game than
yeah.
some supplement that helped you recover, basically, better, you know?
Wouldn't it be dope if the people that vote for the Hall of Fame are actual like players and retired players? Because they can actually
That,
gauge.
I was thinking that while I
That
was
would be a great
talking.
idea.
I was thinking that while I was talking, like, like I'm sure like you'll see like a Greg Maddux or people that are already in the Hall of Fame should be
Yeah,
like,
Maybe it should be the Hall of Famers that are live voting for more Hall of Famers to join or something like that.
that would make sense because
Or at
essentially
least put
it's
them in, like, give them a vote.
they should
they.
have like a players committee for voting.
But yeah, I feel like they could do something almost similar to like what the NBA does with the All-Star voting, where like the fan vote counts a certain percentage, and so maybe they do something like that, where it's like
That'd be dope
the
too.
the writers maybe get like a 40% where the players get 60. So if there's like this discrepancy, for example, with Barry Bonds and the Hall of Famers want him in because they got majority in the 60%, he's in.
Or former managers, something like
Yeah,
Yeah.
something that
fucking newspaper
I like
writers.
the idea of the Hall of Famers that are still living being the ones.
Because I don't know, but is the Heisman like that? Do the Heisman, former Heisman winners win? I know they go to the ceremony, most of them, but I don't know if they get a vote. But that'd be kind of dope if they could do something like that.
I'm not familiar with the Heisman voting.
Okay.
I'll be honest, uh, but I'll look into it to see. You might be onto something.
I know when they do the ceremony, the former Heisman winners are like all there to like applaud you
Yeah.
and into their brotherhood type stuff, which was a big deal, I think, recently, because Cam Newton had just returned because he was like he hasn't been going for like the 10 years since he won or whatever, to give it to Travis Hunter, I think, Deion Sanders,
Yeah.
mentee. So that was a good one.
Speaking of Travis Hunter, I'm not gonna
Uh,
get into it. I'm not gonna get into it.
you think he's the first pick?
Huh?
The first pick?
No, 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 no. It was something. It was
Oh, okay.
something else. It was Matthew Stafford. Like,
Oh, like relationship?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's messy.
Yeah,
I
so.
don't know. I want the T.
Oh.
But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of this episode goes, and we maybe we'll
Well,
go
since
back.
we're on the topic of football,
There you go.
the NFL freaking playoffs are insane.
Yeah.
There's some great football, some crazy plays. The referees doing their best to make sure Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs advance. The NFL playoffs has it all, man. What are your thoughts so far?
Before we go there, so it looks like there are some ballots that do go to former winners in the Heisman Trophy. So you were right, Josio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should definitely do that for like the Hall of Fames type stuff.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
It's good for
I'm
the
sorry,
sport.
Roberto. So, right. So championship week, right?
Yeah,
NFC,
Yeah.
AFC.
AFC.
Yeah.
So you our thoughts on so far or thoughts on
Yeah, let's
other?
go thoughts. Let's go predictions. Let's see who's going to the Super Bowl.
All right,
The
so the biggest surprise is no surprise.
Commanders.
Yes, the Washington Commanders, I think, is the biggest surprise here.
Yeah.
They're playing with house money. They're probably the most dangerous team that's still left because they literally have nothing to lose. It might be their best shot at winning it, to be honest, because now next
Yeah.
year, Jaden Daniels, they're gonna have that film study on him. You saw how CJ Stroud took like
Yeah.
he kind of like fell off a little bit after that rookie rise, similar to Baker. So this might be their best shot at it, but I like what I'm seeing from them. I think Kingsbury's doing a great job.
Oh, dude.
Terry McLaurin, stud. But yeah, that team is very exciting to see.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that's about it for surprises. I mean, I think we
Question.
all. Huh?
Question.
Yep.
If the Commanders win the Super Bowl, are we going to consider Jaden Daniels to be the greatest rookie quarterback of all time?
I think he would have to be
Yes.
better than Dan Marino. He took him to the Super Bowl, I think, his rookie year, but they ain't win, I believe.
I didn't
So
know.
He definitely didn't win.
no, he didn't win. Never went. He never went back. So yeah, the Eagles too, they're kind of shaking up, or at least Hurts is. So the Commanders have a great defense, underrated defense, I would say. But they playing great. They're getting turnovers. Depending on the weather, they look like they can play in any weather. So they're a very dangerous team. Jaden Daniels ain't nobody to play with. He could kill you with his arm or with his legs. The plays they're playing, they're putting him in, could get anybody. Like them trick plays they did on fourth down, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna fake it to him and then I'm gonna run in and get the first down myself because he got the legs to do it, and he just kept cheesing them with it. It's like, bro, how do you stop that? You're gonna have to like change up your defense, and then they could hit you on top with McLaren,
McLaurin
McLaurin, yeah,
and Donnie
Eckler.
Brown.
Eckler is a seasoned vet. He's a scoring machine. They got Ertz, whatever his name is. He's another vet.
Brian
Uh,
Robinson, the 50 Cent of the team.
yeah, it's just like they got a squad, and he's very poised. Like he got like Pat Mahomes type skills in him, Lamar Jackson type skills, and we know he's experienced from his college days. Like he's been to the national championship, he's been a Heisman winner, so he's playing amazing. The only thing is, can they stop Saquon Barkley?
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know
So
if anybody can.
yeah, and I low key want him to win a ring too. Like I'm conflicted. I like the Commanders. I like them more than the Eagles, but I like Saquon. Like out of everybody on the Eagles, I like Saquon.
Me
Um,
too. Me too.
but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm conflicted. I think the Commanders will beat the Eagles though. I think they'll
Mm.
figure it out. Yeah,
Wow.
unless Saquon is going for like 500 yards, bro. I don't know. That's
I
what.
have this game going. I have this game being close, and you know, might be a surprise breakdown for y'all, but typically when games are close, it's decided on a special teams play, field goal miss, a field goal make. Zane Gonzalez be looking scared to death out there, man. Zane Gonzalez, like I would be scared to like. There's a reason why these dudes go for it on fourth down so much, because this dude be panicking, man. He makes me anxious, and I'm not even on the team. So I think like if they were to lose, I wouldn't be surprised if poor Zane gets the
It's the
blame for it. But I think Jake Elliott's a better kicker
yeah, for sure.
than
Yeah,
Zane. Uh, Also, I think the Eagles' defense is slightly better than the Commanders, at least in aerial attack. Though
Hmm.
the Commanders have been playing great in the playoffs against the pass. They've been doing
Hmm.
great. Um, but season long, the Eagles have been a better defense. I think they're gonna get to Jaden.
Really,
Uh, yeah, I think they're gonna. I think Jalen Carter is gonna continue to build
mhm.
his momentum.
he's a
Um,
steal.
yeah, he's been wilding. And
Yeah,
also the old line for the Eagles is just so dominant, man.
One of the
Like
best.
that old line is ridiculous.
they just overpower everyone. It's
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just don't have faith in Hurts right now.
That's the only my biggest concern is Hurts's health.
Yeah.
Is
And decision making. Like I feel like he's out there scared a little bit. Like he's scared to throw it.
yeah, I mean, I just feel like if his legs are healthy, it's gonna be a lot to deal with when they have like a little bit of the Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry going with him and
Yeah.
Saquon. that they could both run it for 60 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's that's but it's gonna be exciting because Jaden Daniels is on the other side doing the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes this game so exciting. So I'm gonna lean towards the Eagles. I don't know. I feel like Saquon is gonna have another big day, and yeah, I just got the Eagles. I think they just have the better overall team, and I'm gonna just pick the better team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see Saquon going for like 120, 130 in this game. Just because that O line in front of him is just crazy unstoppable. And then the gaps they open up for him, and then the way he's so elusive, but also like a power back at the same time is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go Commanders in a damn blowout, 34-10. Let's go.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
I'm
okay.
going Jaden Daniels all the way, man.
Listen, the way this game starts is gonna be very critical. If these dudes, the Commanders, go down the field on a 14 zip to start the game, 14 zip, be careful, Eagles, because this
Yeah.
Commanders offense, once they got it clicking, man,
They just got that good vibe going right now.
they do.
They could definitely do it. I'm trying to see like I know they split this year. The Commanders and the Eagles, they both won a game, but I'm trying to see the scores of this game if they were closer blowouts.
The second game was close, but remember, Hurts only played like
Oh, because got
plays.
hurt, right?
He got hurt, yeah. So the
So
Commanders won their second meeting when Hurts got hurt. What I'm thinking, so AJ Brown and Devontae Smith have both been kind of relatively quiet in these playoffs,
Yeah,
and I feel
they
like
have.
I don't see them having a third lackluster game. I feel like one of them is gonna go off here.
yeah,
So that's another reason why I'm leaning towards the Eagles.
yeah. The games are close. Both of them were fairly close. They were like within a touchdown each. So.
It's a division game.
Mm-hmm.
I see this game being close, and for that reason, if it's a close game, I lean towards the Eagles.
Yeah, the home team won each game, so the Eagles should pull through.
Yeah, I don't mean shit.
Yeah, not in the playoffs at
It's the
least. The
playoffs,
Commanders are
man.
hot, yeah.
That's not gonna mean shit. These dudes are playing with house money. They don't care.
Nope.
I'm a little scared with my pick. I'm not gonna lie. A
I'm
little.
excited.
No, yeah, it should be a great first game. Last week, the Eagles and Rams game was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that game was sick. In the snow. Oh man, good game.
On the other side,
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes.
Oof, this is a tough one. I'm gonna let y'all go first.
I don't know if I should go with my brain or my heart.
I mean, it's tough. This is one of them games.
Yeah, my brain is saying the Chiefs, my heart is saying the Bills.
Uh,
Man,
But they playing at the Chiefs home. It's gonna be brick, but the Bills are used to that.
that's gonna be summer weather for them.
before we do a pick, I know the Chiefs on X. A lot of it has to do with a lot of hatred towards just being so great, which happens when you're
Okay.
that good.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees went through that. The Patriots went through that. Now the Chiefs are going through that. But do you think some of the complaints that fans are pointing out are they kind of warranted with these refs? Do you think the refs have been tweaking? Like they've been.
Honestly, they have been in certain situations. It just kind of looks weird, especially when you slow it down and you're like, was that really pass interference? Was that really roughing the passer? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you look at it like the hit last week, Mahomes wasn't even touched. The two defensive guys crashed into each other. So Mahomes wasn't even touched and flag right away. Anytime it looks like Mahomes is about to get hit. I will
Yeah,
never forget a play, bro. I think it was last year with the Jets. DJ Reed was flying down that sideline at 150 miles an hour, bro. And he avoided Pat Mahomes and he was in bounds, so it would have been a clean hit. He was like, After the game, he was like, "Nah, I knew better than to hit him." Nah, nah.
He got flagged.
That's crazy.
It must be so demoralizing as a defense to play
Yeah.
against. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of these calls look sketchy,
And
or
Yeah.
the
or
no calls look kind of like, come on, that was clearly a fumble. Uh.
for that reason, I'm going Bills.
Okay. The
Yeah,
Bills. I'm not gonna
the
lie. I like
Bills.
Josh Allen's aura in these plays.
Yo,
His
he's
aura is
put.
really good.
He think he Tom Brady version 2.0 or something.
He looks. He. I don't know. He has a glow about him. He has
Yeah,
a
he's
glow
just
about him.
Tom Brady on steroids.
Is that engagement, bro?
Might be.
Yeah,
Might be.
but they got a good defense too.
Great defense
They
for
got
sure.
Von
Yeah.
Miller. Um,
Milano.
they gonna get to. I feel like they'll touch up on him on purpose. They gonna get those bags on purpose, but he ain't gonna be able to like withstand those blows throughout the game. I see them winning by a field goal. Last
Okay.
2 minutes. I don't know how
Wow.
crazy the score is gonna be, but I see them winning by like a field goal. Josh Allen's gonna get the ball last somehow. A turnover
Dang.
somehow. The running back gonna fumble or something, and
Ooh.
gonna get the
Set the
ball.
stage. Set the stage.
Josh Allen gonna march down the field and secure that win, man. And then it's gonna fucking go shit on Mahomes' face.
One would hope. One would only hope.
Oh
Honestly,
man,
if that happens, I think Josh would have to run it in. Like, he would
yeah,
have to
Ooh,
run it in. Like,
he'll do
like a
that.
dog,
forget the
bro.
field goal. He has to rush
Yeah,
it in. He did that this year, actually, when they beat them.
yeah. Oh yeah, they were the only team to like really beat them too. So they're capable. They're clearly capable.
No, yeah, they
So
showed it for sure. And the Bills this year, what I've loved about them, they haven't been turning the ball over as previous years with Josh Allen, where he used to want to force feed Diggs. We've seen it's a different Josh this year.
yeah, for sure.
Just hope he doesn't turn into Jared Goff. And then
Yeah,
and then maybe they have a shot.
you need to keep playing with that same swagger. He should be good.
If there's
I
one
don't
thing
think.
these playoffs have taught me, turnovers are big, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the main
that's
game
the game
changing
changer. Yeah.
difference. Yeah. Um, Damn, one last thing I was gonna say.
You just hope.
Yeah, I just hope like if they do lose, it's not because of him. Like to
Mm.
somebody else blown cover or something like that. Like he gives his all, and then it's not on him. You can't be mad at the season he had.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the last time they lost to them, which was an amazing game in the playoffs. I don't know if you remember. It went to overtime, and that's when
Yep.
they did like the rule change and all that.
The whole coin toss
It
thing.
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
his fault.
First
It wasn't
he
quarter.
his.
ain't got the ball back.
Yeah.
It was just the heart of the cards. Patrick Mahomes, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Who do you think?
Honestly, I'm gonna go. I'll go next, Roberto, because
I know who I'm picking already.
yeah. I was gonna pick with my heart, but I just forgot Patrick Mahomes has a dark magician, bro. That dude, I don't know what kind of witchcraft this team has, but have y'all seen these games that they've been winning this year?
It be some like crazy
Yeah,
bullshit.
a field goal block. It'd be plays that you haven't seen since like the inception of football.
In the 60s, bro.
Like they win in the
1960s game.
in the most football ways, basically. This would be mind
I can't.
boggling.
I'm sorry. I can't pick against this team. I have to. Josh, you're gonna have to show me, man.
I don't.
You're gonna have to show me, bro. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, the
I'm
Chiefs
not
haven't
gonna do
blown
it to
anybody.
myself. I'm not gonna do it to myself. I got the Chiefs winning in a close one. It hurts to say it. We're gonna have a rematch: Eagles and Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Wow. I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills, man.
Yeah.
I'm going with Josh Allen. I'm the biggest critique of Josh Allen, mostly because he threw a lot of interceptions in past years, but this year he got engaged, and that just changed his energy. I can't go against engaged Josh Allen.
Mm.
He's focused.
And I hope it's a high scoring game. Like I'm talking like 56 to like
Yeah,
42. Like something crazy, man. I want to see a shootout.
It could turn into, they both have good defenses, but it could turn out to be one of those things once they get that momentum that they're
Yeah.
gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be interesting too to see like D Hop, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper. They both were trade-ins to get because they both had like not the best receiving cores. These two teams,
Yeah.
like name-wise. So it's gonna be interesting, like which veteran receiver out of those two is gonna like show up when the lights are brightest. Because I don't think any of them have played in a bigger game than this in their careers. So there's a lot of little elements to this game that makes it exciting for me.
Yeah.
And James Cook is a stud. James
Yeah.
Cook needs to go
Yeah.
off. He needs to go off for them to have a chance. That's what Buffalo's been doing the whole year. Running and playing defense. Running the running game, play action, play defense. They can't switch it up now. They can't.
Yeah, especially with Patrick Mahomes, you want to keep him off the field.
For
Yeah.
sure. Come on,
Control the
man.
clock for sure.
Come on.
Eat up
And
that
if he's
clock.
running down that sideline,
Clock the shit out of him.
yeah, if you're gonna hit him, like
Take
might
his
as
legs
well.
out.
You're gonna get called for the penalty anyway, so go all out.
Throw a football hit on him.
Cause that dude always slows down in that sideline.
He does.
Always slows down. Oh man,
You
he's
think I'm gonna
so
go out?
good.
No.
He's so good. He's so good. And Taylor Swift now has Caitlin Clark with her.
Oh yeah, the basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw. So I'm like, oh snap,
it's gonna be
besties.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome, man. I already see X going crazy.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
We got
It-
some goodies.
Yeah. If the Bills were hosting, I would have tried to go to that Bills game.
Dang.
But it's at the Chiefs.
That Bills crowd was lit last week, man.
Yeah. They're always active. I don't know how they stay warm, yo. That stadium is old. Like it don't got the heated benches or nothing like that.
Oh dang.
And most of the time when it snows, they pay like the fans to help clean it up.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't like
You
that.
you saw that the fans donated a bunch of money to Mark Andrews' charity.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills fans, they donated mad money to his.
They're so petty. Oh my god, they're so petty. Yo, how do you think he feels right now, bro?
Oh man, it's gonna be a long.
Yo, I was depressed. Can you imagine him? I was like, yeah, let's go. No.
Like how must that feel? Like you being the player, knowing like you just dropped that.
A fumble and that.
You gotta get up now and go to the sideline with all your boys. Like what runs through your mind?
That happened to Saquon twice in the season. Now that I think about it,
That they lost games because of him.
like he dropped a key pass at the end of a game.
Yes, I remember one.
I mean, that happens, yeah. That happened a lot with the Giants, too. Derrick Henry also dropped a pass like early on in the game that could have gotten them a lot of momentum.
Yeah, but that's Derrick Henry. You're not expecting him to be the best receiver out there.
Then that fumble, then Lamar trying to be extra, then that interception when he like literally almost threw it to the safety.
Honestly, they didn't deserve to win that game anyways.
Yeah. The way they were playing, like good comeback, but
yeah. But too many mistakes early on.
Yeah, fix that up. Unlike the Bills, they didn't really have many, so shout out to them. They really won that game. So they punched the ball out. They sacked the quarterback. They intercepted it. Like
yeah, and the weather this weekend doesn't look too bad on either side.
Okay, no snow, just cold.
Well, it's gonna be like supposedly 40 on Sunday in Philly, which is surprising.
Mm,
And Kansas City is gonna be like 35.
okay, good football
Not
weather.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 33. Yeah.
So I got Bills, you got Bills, you got Chiefs.
Yeah, basically agreed on both games. I
Okay.
decided to be boring and pick with my brain.
You probably be right though.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm
Um,
wrong on both games.
I wouldn't be mad though to see a Chiefs and Eagles rematch. I wouldn't be mad because I feel like they all these teams kind of deserve it. Like they've all been hella great this year. So
Yeah.
like may the best team win literally. Like and the good thing is too that besides Josh Allen, which I heard some joke if Lamar would have made it, it would have been the first time I think all four quarterbacks for all teams are African American or black,
Well, yeah, we're all black. Yeah.
which is like a crazy stat to hear nowadays. Because when I was growing up, there was only like two black quarterbacks, and now almost more than half of
Yeah.
them are black. So shout out to the black quarterbacks out there representing
That's right.
and the
Sure.
GOAT, Patty Mahomes. You gotta cement your legacy further, probably.
The GOAT is still Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Still Brady. But Pat Mahomes is well on his way.
Yeah.
I know I was talking crap in the chat, but I don't know. I just had there's something about Brady that you know he just
It's just different.
But if Mahomes gets this three-peat, he'll be the first ever,
to
and
do this. Yeah.
yeah, he'll have something under his belt that Brady never did,
Never
basically.
did, right? Yep. This
So
will definitely start a case for him. It will start a case for sure. Can't say no.
Yo, before we wrap up, New York Jets hired Aaron Glenn,
mhm.
head coach. What do you guys think? Former Lions defensive coordinator.
I think he's a good hire. I don't know if he's the right hire. I say that because I wanted to see a more offensive-minded coach because you have such a great talented offense. You have a great defense too, but we know that already. You have the pieces in place to have a really great offense, and having a coach that can nurture that and develop that would have been probably a better fit, I would think. But
I don't mind it. I like the defensive minded coach for the Jets. They actually I feel like they did not play to their standard at all this year defensively. They really took a step back. And I feel like that defense on paper should be a lot better than what it looked like. Um, they couldn't stop a nosebleed in the run. First of all, I mean, I know this guy used to be a cornerback, but they gotta tighten up on that the rush defense for sure. Uh, but also, this dude didn't look himself either. Sauce Gardner didn't have the best year either.
Yeah, he looked
Um,
shaky at times.
so maybe he'll help him tighten up his defense because he has a cornerback brain. So I like it. I typically like the Jets with a defensive minded coach. I think Rex Ryan he kind of like spoiled us in a way.
Yeah,
Like I just feel like was Herm Edwards, was he an offensive minded coach? Or with
defense.
defense, yeah, they
yeah,
always had like a
he was
defensive
a
minded.
corner too.
Except the last one who wasn't was Adam Gase.
Oh,
Thank
God.
God for him.
Yeah, yeah. You see, just stick to defense, bro. Just stick to the defensive minded guys. Because you see, Adam Gase, he's the reason why they don't hire another offensive minded coach.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the hire. Former Jet, great. I think he's going to help the culture of that team. That kind of lost its way after Salah got fired. Um, Personally, I would run it back with Aaron Rodgers as well, because what other option do you have, honestly? You really you have Tyrod Taylor for another year. Sure, you can go with him, but he gets hurt a lot, frankly. So After that, then we like just run it back.
You could try to get like Daniel Jones or something, or one of those like backup quarterbacks that are out there, or something, just as a contingency plan.
Oh, like as a backup to have a
Mm-hmm.
backup.
Yeah, no, I like Tyrod Taylor as backup. That's his
Yeah, I'm
role.
okay with Tyrod being the backup.
Yeah.
I run it with Aaron Rodgers. Let's give it one more year with him, Devontae, G5. Let's run it
Yeah,
back. Brees
Winston,
Hall.
Jameis Winston, or Deshaun
they
Watson, or some shit, some crazy shit. I don't know.
they definitely showed spurts of what they
Yeah,
can be,
yeah,
especially in that last game. They played
yeah,
that. They looked. Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers looked phenomenal. So I would like them to run it back one more year because I'm biased. But they definitely do need like to tighten up maybe on the offensive line a little bit more.
Yeah.
And
Learn how to pass block. Oh,
yeah, and
run the ball
try to
more.
run the ball better. Like you got
Yeah,
Brees Hall and
Get
yeah,
Brandon.
creative.
yeah. Like,
Like
Get
try
bro,
to like
creative.
run the ball better like that.
That's what
Just
I'm saying. Like, I like the hire, but he has to get an offensive mind in there
oh,
that's gonna be
oh my
dynamic.
God, it's almost like in Detroit. They have the two backs. You didn't have two backs with the Jets too. They have.
Yeah.
I can see what he's gonna do right now. Oh shit, it just hit me.
They just
Devontae Adams, if he comes back too.
they just need like a top
oh, they need
offensive
Adams back
mind.
for sure. They need Adams back for sure.
Having him back for a full year, and then the other wide receiver, do you think he
Garrett
want?
Wilson is a
Wilson.
stud.
Yeah, you keep him.
I heard he wanted to get out of there though.
I'll pay him whatever he wants just to keep him. That dude is
Yo,
worth it.
that you have like at least five offensive weapons, bro, and you have a Hall of Fame quarterback. If you tighten up that old line to like not let your quarterback get sacked the most he's ever been sacked in his life, or give him some time to throw the ball and open up some holes for your running back. Yeah, I got it. Because there were so many games they could have won. That one, their kicker missed a lot too. But they stopped running the ball in a lot of games that they could have won.
Yeah.
They also need to do something with that locker room. I think they need to do like some spiritual cleansing in that locker room because they have the opposite effects of the Chiefs. Like these dudes
Yeah.
know how to lose a close game.
Yeah.
They know how to lose a close game. Like you
That's
look at
why
the stat sheet and be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers played good. Oh, Adams had a good game. Oh, everything was good, and then like,
they still
but they
lost.
lost. They lost.
Yeah.
They got a L. So they have to do something with that too. They got it. Maybe they need to go on a silent retreat or something. But they need some sports. So
Go into the
we started the
darkness.
pod on a spiritual journey. Now we're
I heard he's also hiring like other good coaches too to fill in like for offensive, defensive, special teams, like head coach quality coaches.
That's a,
So
that's what
that's
I
good.
like.
Yeah. That division is totally winnable. Well, besides the Bills.
mm.
Um, but they could definitely like get up there and win. So they could at least beat Miami, who look very dysfunctional, and the Patriots, who are also probably very dysfunctional right now. But yeah, that's all I got. I think the Jets will be all right if they can just focus on running the ball some more and playing defense, kind of like the Bills.
Yep,
Yeah.
agree.
Well, all I heard was Jets are going to win the Super Bowl next year. So on that note, fellas,
Now, if y'all luck.
oh man, hey, it was great to be back.
For real,
Yeah,
yo. This was
We
good.
we were on a hiatus for a little bit. Great to be back. I know
yeah,
we talk every day, but it's good to see ya and record and do this thing.
for sure, for sure. We still need to figure out who of us had the lesser record
Yes.
and see who's gonna eat that pickle juice.
Like how much?
A jar. Damn.
No, man.
Maybe not. Maybe not a jar. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I'll just like throw that shit on long. Oh man, you gotta record that.
Yep, it's gonna go on record.
There we go. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to donate.
Damn right. Help us, please.
This is a not-for-profit organization.
All right, we'll just pay for our software and equipment and all that. All right, yeah. Take care.
Take it easy.